used to say it can never be done. That power could never be harnessed to such a degree. It has a mind of its own, and has always run free. What does it take to perfectly merge power and precision? A master at his skill. John Deere, believe in greater.
Very good. So good morning, goeiemorgen, sawubona, mangwanani. My name is Tavonga Siyavora, a proud product of Zimbabwe and a member of John Deere's Intelligent Solutions Group, which is based out of Des Moines, Iowa. In my role, I have the great fortune of working with many of my colleagues around the world on the expansion of John Deere's precision ag technology portfolio, making our advanced technologies available to farmers around the world. Prior, I did spend some time at our region headquarters here in Johannesburg, working closely with colleagues and our dealers across the continent on the adoption of precision ag into farming practices. Now, before I begin, I do want to thank the Africa Agri-Tech organizers and partners for this week and the opportunity to come and talk to you all about John Deere's vision within this space and our commitment to helping to increase food production, raise incomes, and positively impact communities across Africa. And let's begin with our higher purpose. Our higher purpose, and really what drives us and leads to our commitment to Africa and to Africa's farmers, is our intent to enable all of those who work the soil, those who help to feed, fuel, and clothe the world. Now, the African Development Bank says that as of now, Africa has approximately 1 billion people. And of that number, 50% are under the age of 20, and about 40% live in cities. Now, this, coupled with projected population growth in decades to come, helps us truly appreciate the great dependency that we have on bolstering and enabling ag food production so farmers can better meet tomorrow's food demand. Now, the African farmer is faced with a range of ambiguity when trying to execute. It makes it difficult for them to produce at scale and always position for success. Built in, there's also much volatility and uncertainty and challenges. So it is through continued engagement between industry and government, and through forums such as the Africa Agri-Tech, that we can begin to unpack some of these challenges and talk about solutions that can be sustainable for the continent. Farming is an honorable calling, and it's a difficult one. And for farmers in Africa, unlike many parts of the world, they certainly don't have as much of a safety net to fall back on. So whether it be inefficiencies across the supply chain, whether it be environmental factors such as drought, pests, disease, most farmers have to carry this burden. And that is where technology has the opportunity to empower and enable these farmers to control what they can. So by unlocking the power of data on the farm, they can better predict outcomes. And by connecting people, machines, and production steps throughout the crop cycle, they're able to reduce the vast amount of complexity so they can make more impactful and informed decisions. Now, this really speaks to a lot of the legacy that John Deere has been continuing for over 180 years now. And one thing that I certainly find fascinating is many of these advancements in farming and how they complement much of Deere's activity on the African continent. Now I'm going to break this up into 4 different segments, Farming 1.0 through 4.0. And if you think about where it all began, Farming 1.0, in 1878 was actually the first recorded transaction, the sale of John Deere implements here in South Africa. These were actually 2 Prairie Queen plows, I believe is what they were called, that were recovered from a shipwreck just off the coast of Cape Town. Several years later was the adoption of the engine and tractors. And in 1918 was John Deere's acquisition of Waterloo Boy Company, thereby entering the tractor business. And it was in 1930 that John Deere first set up a distributorship here in South Africa to continue driving adoption across the continent. Since then, we have continued to build, and working closely with our dealers across the continent, farmers now have access to a John Deere dealer at over 184 outlets across the continent, providing sales and service support. Many years later came Precision Ag, and in 2005, I was launching our GPS-enabled self-driving technology that goes on most of our equipment today. Now, to put this into broader context, we've continued to develop this GPS self-driving technology. The average consumer phone, the GPS accuracy that we get on our phones is about 3 meters, which is appropriate for what we use our phones for. For farmers today, our technology is able to deliver an accuracy of plus or minus 2.5 centimeters, which is absolutely necessary for what farmers need to do today. Even a variance of 5 centimeters can lead to crop damage, thereby impacting food production and impacting their bottom line. Built on top of that geospatial correction is a family of sensors and other technologies that continue to optimize the machine's performance. Then came the advent of Farming 4.0, and this is our bringing telematics and IoT capability to our machines. So through vehicle telematics and a technology we call Telelink, we are connecting machines to the cloud, machines to other machines, and also delivering tools that enable dealers to proactively monitor and help customers mitigate any potential downtime. So as of today, all of these coming together are really creating 3 pillars that we can talk through for today's discussion. There's Precision Ag equipment, Precision Ag technologies, and what we continue to do to bring automation into job execution. So with our Precision Ag equipment, we continue to create and provide industry-leading equipment that meets the tall demands of farming today. We build on top of that with our Precision Ag technology portfolio. What I do want to point out here is by creating all of these solutions from the top down, we are better positioned and better able to provide a user-friendly experience. That way, for both the farmer and operator alike, we are continuing to advance the complexity of what's happening with that equipment, but it's also easy for them to walk up and begin operating it. And built on Precision Ag technology, we can now usher in job optimization. So we can look at, for example, auto-track vision and row guidance, which is now building on top of our GPS-enabled self-driving, but also adding computer vision at the machine level and additional vehicle sensors that through edge computing allow the machine to actually make additional corrections and optimize its performance as it's going through that field. If we look at our planting operations, we have Exact Emerge, and for our spraying operations, Exact Apply technology, all of which are helping to drive down to the subfield and even down to the plant level when it comes to the level of precision. And finally, if we look at our harvesting operations, there's Combine Advisor, a technology we recently launched with our S700 series combine. And with Combine Advisor, we are combining machine learning and computer vision to automate 5 key adjustments on that combine. So it's always operating at its absolute best throughout the season. Now let's take a deeper dive on one of these, and I can talk more about Exact Apply. So the sprayer that you're seeing pictured here is a rather large piece of equipment That sprayer boom is about 120 feet, or a little bit over 36.5 meters, I believe. And with the normal configuration, you're probably looking at about 97 nozzles across the full length of that sprayer. Now, if I can paint a scenario for you, this machine is going through the field, and towards the end of the field, or because of variation within the field, the machine actually needs to turn. And as that machine's turning, the inside of the boom might be applying more product, while the outside is applying less. So back to our having robotics at the machine level, built with, and then layering on our precision ag technology, we are able to provide what's called turn compensation, which optimizes everything down to the actual nozzle level. So across all 97 nozzles, the machine is constantly monitoring and making adjustments to optimize performance, thereby allowing the operator to get more ground covered in less time without sacrificing the quality of the operation, and all while helping them save between 2 and 5% on actual product usage. So with the evolution of precision ag and its adoption across all of our product lines, we are going from a time when optimization was at the field level. So you would have one setting that you would use for an entire field's planting operation or an entire field's harvesting operation. But we are now driving optimization down to the zone level and down to the row level, and the future is down to the actual plant level as well. This will usher in what we like to term Farming 5.0. And it's not going to be easy, but John Deere is committed to realizing this. If we think about it, an average cornfield, say about 5,000 acre cornfield, you're talking about 5 million plants. And if the field is wheat, you're probably closer to 100 million individual plants. And the future that John Deere is working on creating today is taking the optimization of each single plant and doing so at scale. That's part of why we purchased Blue River Technology back in 2017, and that's why we continue to drive further automation into our equipment, and we continue to develop the artificial intelligence and machine learning that it's going to take for us to realize this for farmers tomorrow. Now globally, John Deere equipment is on approximately 25% of arable land, and about 115 million acres currently use our most advanced digital tools. And these digital tools are needed by customers and farmers such as Joe Duplessis. Joe here is the farm manager for a company called Russell Boudere, based out of, the name's going to come back to me, actually out of the Nido area. And Russell Boudere is a good example of some of the complexity that you see with commercial farming in Africa today. For the 2019-2020 season, they actually planted close to 3,300 hectares. This across 90 fields. And for all their operations, whether it's planting, spraying, or even harvest season, they have very tight windows to get the job done. And every decision that needs to be made is critical to their overall success. And it is through the advanced precision ag technology at the machine level and through the connectivity that Joe has through telematics that he can keep an eye on what's happening throughout the operation and make adjustments as needed. Now you may be asking me, or thinking to yourself, these are advancements that make sense for large ag. What can we do for the smallholder farmer or for the smallholder segment? And my answer to you is that there's a place for all of it. Now, up on the screen here is Lerato Sanakomo of Sanakomo Farming. She's an award-winning farmer and a graduate of the Bushle Farmers Academy, an NGO that's supported by John Deere. Lerato is a really good example of what it can take from managing her family's 1.2 hectare farm to now over 500 hectares with both livestock and maize feed operations. And it is for the farmers that have the potential to emulate Lerato's success that John Deere created the SMART campaign. And through the SMART campaign, what John Deere is building or working on providing throughout the continent is solutions that address all of the issues faced with bringing mechanization to smallholders. Now first, this is our empowering and building out a capable contractor segment. Pictured here also includes access to finance. Finance is a big issue on the continent. John Deere has our own John Deere Financial Group that is capable of wholesale and retail finance with terms that can best meet and support customer needs. In addition is the adoption of technology and education to support these contractors as they provide contracting services to smallholder farmers in their community. At the John Deere stand is a 5075E tractor, which has an example of our AutoTrack self-driving technology that has now been adopted to these smaller tractors also, further helping those tractor operators get the most out of every pass and reduce operator fatigue. Another good example is our bringing telematics to these machines as well. At the stand is a 5055E tractor with a solution that we call a JD Telelink. Similar to how we have JD Link on the larger equipment, JD Telelink allows the tractor owner or contractor to keep track of where all of their machines are, in addition to machine health and other critical information that helps them get the most out of their operation. John Deere continues to invest into these technologies because ultimately they help deliver on our higher purpose. So it's not technology for technology's sake. Now, before I go, I do have one more quick video that'll help paint that picture for you. Very good. Thank you for your time.